This worked every single time we did it last year. I think we actually started on the first road game. Wisconsin led to a 21-point victory, which was, do you want Michigan to win the game? Like the damn video, put the good vibes out in the world. The only time it didn't work was the Michigan State game. Steve, I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. A guy named Steve didn't like the video, tried to play coy with me, commented, I'm not liking the video, etc. Got a crazy last name. He caused the loss against Michigan State, so don't be the guy. Just like the video. Don't jinx it. Putting good vibes out in the world. Let's get a victory against Iowa, the place where top 5 teams go to die, tomorrow at noon. All right, want to go over the keys to beating Iowa, some things that you want to see from this Michigan team. If you start seeing these things early, likely going to lead to a victory for this program. And we got a couple mailbag questions that we didn't get to in Wednesday's video that we want to talk about. Speaking of Wednesday's video, right, have nearly 5,000 comments on that video. Remember, the person who gets the most comments in that video, I'm sending a Michigan football Jordan brand t-shirt. So you've got until today at 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to count those up. Whoever's got it, I'm going to message you from the page, and we will get a Michigan football Jordan brand t-shirt out to you. Ed Grant says, what's Michigan's recipe for success to not be another top 5 disaster story? Not just a Wolverine disaster story, but this Iowa team going back 15 years have won 5 of their last 6 home games against top 5 teams. So Ed had a good question here. I'm going to roll it into my keys to victory because this is, the things we want to see, the recipe. That's what we're talking about here, keys to victory. Number 1 for me is make Iowa's quarterback Spencer Petras throw the damn ball. Why is that? Well, Iowa doesn't really do anything good on offense, right? The running backs aren't that good. The offensive line's not that good. Haven't seen much out of the receivers. But if all those things combine, you kind of take where you would hope them to try and exploit Michigan if they're going to have any sort of offensive philosophy, is making this guy throw the ball, right? He's throwing around 51% this year, 48 of 94, 524 yards. That's through 4 games, right? That's not like in the last game or anything like that. That's in 4 games. 1 touchdown pass so far this season, 2 interceptions. He is getting 5.6 yards per attempt right now, lowest in the Big Ten. I've got to look up. I should have looked up what J.J. McCarthy is now. If you guys recall, McCarthy was averaging like 16 yards per attempt through his first couple games, a couple starts, Hawaii, and then UConn. So 5.6, that is absurd. You should be up there in the 8, 9, 10 range if you're a top-level college football quarterback. Number 2, mentioned on yesterday's show, no fumbles from J.J. McCarthy. I don't know why this is a thing sometimes for Michigan quarterbacks. Maybe it's more prevalent around college football. I just don't pay that much attention. But remember Shea Patterson, right? Love Shea. 2019, he was fumbling 2 to 4 times a game, like the first 5 games of the season. We actually had to invent the no turnover chain that I wore to a game. Iowa, Michigan got like a 10-3 win. And frankly, it was the first game of that season that Shea Patterson did not fumble. So J.J. McCarthy, do not fumble the ball. Learn to either throw the ball away or don't turn your back to the defense. Just don't do it, right? Maybe next year when you've got a season under your belt. Right now, it's uncalled for, and it's really, it's like a 1 out of 4 times you've done it so far this season has resulted in a successful play. That was the kind of scramble on 3rd down last week versus Maryland. Score for me, folks. Michigan heading out to Iowa, first road game of the year. Predict the score down in the comments. I'm sticking to my prediction right here. 26-9 Michigan. They're going to get 2 touchdowns. Michigan will have 4 field goals to Iowa's 3 field goals. And after the game, the fastest Michigan football post-game show on planet Earth. We will have a show for you out within about 20 to 30 minutes after the game is over. Wolverines at Iowa. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Got to bring that 2021 vibe, man. Remember last year, Wisconsin. I talked the story last year. I said, go back and look. You look at Wednesday's video. I linked the spot that I talked about the 2021 first road game. I remember the 2018 Ohio State-Michigan game, right? I walked in the stadium about 45 minutes before kickoff, and I'm like, this team looks lifeless. They look scared out of their mind. They're the ones that are favored. They were favored at Columbus. They look lifeless. 3 years later, 2021, that Wisconsin game, going into the fourth quarter, jump around. Remember this video went viral? The entire Michigan sideline was making it their thing. They completely took the vibe away from Wisconsin, dominated that fourth quarter in a 2-score game. It was 20-10. Take that same vibe, Jim. Just imagine it's a home game. Just imagine it's a home game, right? Michigan has been tremendous at home. under Jim Harbaugh. I think the only 2 losses are actually against Ohio State in 2017, 2019, and 2015. I think other than that, Jim Harbaugh might be undefeated at home. Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry. Michigan State as well. Fuck. Shit. I said I wasn't going to remember those games. Babble the snap. So Harbaugh's got a few more losses than I remembered, but pretty damn good. Pretty abysmal on the road outside of 2021. So bring that vibe. Jump around. Whatever Iowa's doing, do it better. Have more fun because it really worked for Michigan last year. Turned out outside of that Michigan State fourth quarter woes, turned out to be a hell of a year on the road for the Wolverines in 2021. Got to get more wide receivers involved, right? Roman Wilson, the first 3 games only had 40 snaps, got a little more involved last year, but every time the guy touches the ball, he scores a touchdown pretty much. Get him the ball more. Where's Andrel Anthony? 2 catches so far this year. It seems that J.J. McCarthy and prior to him, Cade McNamara, it's go to Ronnie Bell, occasionally go to Cornelius Johnson, and if not one of those guys, it's just throw 5, 6, 7 times to the tight end, right? First Eric All, now with him out for the year, Luke Schoonmaker and others. Get more wide receivers involved. Jim Harbaugh said there was 10 wide receivers in this team that were starter level, but we've really only seen 2 of them so far this year. So you got to get more guys. They get one catch a lot. Get 4 receivers with 3 catches, right? I think that's a big problem so far for this team. Big challenge I saw with watching the film last week is Michigan tried to go deep a ton. And they had a bunch of routes a bunch of play calls where 4 guys, 3 guys went 15, 20 yards down the field or further. A couple guys streaking down. And there was this much room on the screen, 15, 20 yards ahead of J.J. McCarthy. And he never took off running, really. So I think they need to get him a little more involved in the running game. Don't get him hurt, but give him the green light. When you're going to send 4 guys long, if they're double covered, take off and run, slide after 10 yards. Don't get hurt, but that's got to be a part with the athleticism that he has of this offensive game plan. And what needs to be part of your game day game plan, Saturday, Sunday, you got to get going with BetUS, our sportsbook partner. Folks, I've been betting with BetUS for the 3rd season now. Love betting with them. They've got all kinds of game props, point spreads, over-unders, college football, NFL. You get the 125% deposit bonus. It might be going away after Saturday's game, so get going now. 125% deposit bonus. You put in 100, extra 125. 200, extra 250. 300, extra 375. You guys can do math up to there. Put in 500 for the maximum amount of bonus. Got to go to chatsports.com/GoBlue and use that promo code you see on screen. Go Blue, no spaces, GOBLUE. Question coming in from James Avery Rusher. He says, do you think that Joel Klatt is right when he says one person should be calling the plays and not 2? And it's an interesting scenario when you think about what Michigan may or may not be doing. What's the real thing that's going on with this offensive play calling? Who's calling the show here for Michigan? Jim Harbaugh has said, many times, going back to 2016, 2017 seasons, oh, it's a group thing, it's a group effort. How does that exactly work? Does Jim Harbaugh just say, we're going to run it here, and then Sharon Moore calls the run, so we're going to pass it here, and Matt Weiss calls the passes? I don't know how you get a certain rhythm like that. Weiss is up in the box. Sharon Moore is down the field trying to coach the offensive line. Harbaugh is trying to coach everything. I feel like they should just give Weiss the play calling duties, agree on a strategy as a group. Harbaugh tried to do, Tim Drevno, Pep Hamilton, another guy, all these cooks in the kitchen, as they would say, Jed Fish, and it never really worked out to the most level of success, 2016, 17, 18. So I think that Jim Harbaugh needs to name one play caller, let that guy run the show. You don't want to have the too many cooks in the kitchen that has really made this offense falter in seasons past. But I'll ask you guys this question. Let me know down in the comments. Should Michigan have one play caller? If you type Y, it means you agree with me, name one offensive play caller. Even if it's Jim Harbaugh. If that's the case, cool. Just let's have one offensive play caller. If no, if you want to stick with the too many cooks in the kitchen or have 3 guys calling plays, that's cool. Do your thing there. Type N down in the comments. The Nate the Great says, name the 3 most annoying fan bases in college football. And I had to take a quick thought on this one. It's like, who's annoyed me personally, and who do I think is annoying to others in some ways? I think most people expect me to say it's Ohio State. Ohio State. I've been at games in Columbus before, and I think the reputation is undeserved. Right? I was wearing all kinds of Michigan stuff last time I was there, 2018. No one threw a beer at me. No one punched me in the face. I wasn't robbed. I wasn't kidnapped like people try to claim happens down there. They're actually, fairly nice. And after the game, when I was kind of sulking around, people just be like, "Hey, get him next year, there, fella." Took a little pity on me. So here's my top 3 most annoying fan bases. Number 1 is without question Notre Dame. I dislike everybody who is a Notre Dame fan. I've got a lot of friends who are Notre Dame fans. They're the friends I try and avoid most times. I know a few families that are Notre Dame fans. Just despicable people. They think they're holier than thou. What's that? Yeah, they're Catholic, and their coach killed somebody, and they just kind of like sweep it under the rug. Brian Kelly, they're a very annoying fan base, and they haven't really earned it in any regard. So Notre Dame, my number one most annoying fan base. Number two, Michigan State, the Spartans. This is the guy. The Spartan fan base is like this. I'm trying not to. He's the kind of guy in general who wears his high school Letterman's jacket to like high school games when he's 29 years old. That's the Michigan State fan. Living in the glory days of the 60s. Oh, that one time we won in 2012. Mark D'Antonio dominated Hoke and Richrod. Who cares? They're obsessed with Tuck. Tuck coming, Tuck this. Their head coach's entire existence is based around two things: smoking cigars and photos, and having pictures of him holding dogs with big chains kind of tied to their neck. I think it's an entirely annoying fan base. If you grow up, he is old school. If you grow up in the state of Michigan and you're not a Michigan fan, you're already kind of just like in second place in life, and that's what a Michigan State fan is, just little brother through and through. Third, Oklahoma. Here at the office, we got Sam, Brown, kind of an annoying guy, so annoying fan base. Tyler Jones, because his parents, big-time annoying guy. But most importantly, across the college football landscape, big game boomer, this Twitter account that I cannot stand, Oklahoma guy, and RJ Young, pound for pound, the least talented guy who's ever got a job on sports television in history, Oklahoma guy. And because of them, Oklahoma moves up to number 3 on my list. But I'll ask you guys, sound off in the comments, which college football program has the most annoying fan base? Comment down below. And let's see the comment wars flames. I'm going to put this out on Twitter or Facebook. Maybe we get some of those fan bases in on the comments here on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow, folks. Michigan football, fastest post-game show in the land. So make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/MichiganTV.